Hi, and welcome to this Astrology Weekly episode for quantumhealers.com. My name is Patricia Grootjans. I'm a BQH practitioner, quantum healer, and astrologer. And we're going to look at the week of February 3 until February 9. Now, let's see what we can find for this week. Let me share my screen. This one. And there we go. Okay. Now, when the week starts on February the 3rd, the moon is in Aries at 13 degrees. So this is interesting. If you have something special in your chart at 13 degrees Aries. Now, Imbolc, the Celtic festival, where it is the beginning of spring, that's actually on February 2nd. However, the energy of Imbolc and of Bridget is very significant this week. So that's why I do want to mention it. And as the week progresses, the moon is slowly moving onto the sign of Taurus. And then we have the first quarter moon on February 5. Now, what does this mean? When the moon is in Aries, we feel that it's time to make choices, as if there's some kind of urgency to make a decision around something. And it's also a good time to cutting cords between people if you feel that this is necessary. And when we are cutting cords between people, this always involves the non-beneficial energy that you are cutting between two people, because love is always present. So you can never cut off the love between people. So if you feel like this is a time for you to cut cords between you and someone where there keeps on existing this negative energy or old patterns that are no longer beneficial, it is a good time to cut cords when the moon is in Aries. And we see that this energy progresses when the moon moves on to Taurus, which is the sign of peace, beauty, harmony. And then on February 5, we reach the first quarter moon, and the first quarter moon is always a good time to make a decision, to make good choices, and to move forward, because the energy is slowly moving on to the full moon, isn't it? So this is a good time to see if the intentions that you have made during the new moon, if they are starting to manifest, because they will reach a certain point during the full moon. But the first quarter moon is always a time to see, okay, am I on the right track? Do I need to make a certain decision or choices to make sure that my intentions can reach their fulfillment? Now, there's something else that's happening, because we also have Jupiter going stationary and moving direct on February 4. And Jupiter is a sign of expansion, of joy, but also studying, learning. It's about the expansion of consciousness, of course, but it's also the expansion in the sense of exploring new horizons. And when Jupiter is retrograde, it means that we are looking for this expansion in ourselves, like the psychological expansion or the spiritual expansion. And when Jupiter is moving direct again, it's as if we are starting to notice the result of the things that we have been studying or learning. And so we may feel that we are finally seeing some of the effects that our efforts have, and that we are moving on. So again, it has this energy of moving on and seeing the progress that we are making. And there's something else that is very important this week, because Venus is moving into the sign of Aries. Again, we have a feminine energy, the goddess symbol, moving into a fire sign. just as the moon in Aries in the beginning of this week. But the moon, of course, moves very quickly. It takes about 28 days to complete its cycle. But now Venus is moving into Aries, into the fire sign. So again, this is really a week to explore the fire goddesses and to see what is their meaning. What can I learn from the fire goddess? Now, Bridget is a fire goddess and she's all about fertility, but also about healing and learning. And it's also, of course, Bridget is a symbol of spring. And we know that the Aries energy marks the beginning of spring. So it is the energy of a new beginning. So Venus moving into Aries is also about awakening a feminine energy in ourselves. Also, if you're a man, we all have the both male and female feminine energies in ourselves. But it's awakening the fire goddess in ourselves. So it's awakening our passion for life and what gets our motor running. What is it that motivates us, and where do we feel that we are so passionate about that we want to share it with the world? Because of course fire is an energy that's moving outward and also a bit about expansion. But there are more fire goddesses, of course, because when we look at the Polynesian goddesses, we have Pele, the goddess of volcanoes and eruptions. So and there we see that fire energy can be destructive in a sense, but it's also very cleansing. And so it clears the energy. And so we can use this energy this week, for example, by smudging or using candles, creating light and focusing on new light. And so there's really this energy of moving forward and progression, but also passion and looking for our passion. And of course, Aries is also about being assertive, but Venus is about being assertive without going into any struggle or discussions. It's about being assertive simply by being who you are and standing your ground and um, having confidence in yourself. So let me see if there's anything else that I haven't shared with you yet. Okay, we've mentioned that Jupiter is moving direct, and we know that this is a time for looking for progress of the things that we have manifested. It's a time for being assertive and making choices and not to compromise, but we do need to work together with other people. So when we are making choices, it is as if we are filtering out, like, okay, who are the people who can be supportive of my choices or who can be supportive of my goals? And just simply ignore those who are not on the same path. Or, well, you don't have to ignore them, but it's about joining people who are on the same track. And so I would like to encourage you to focus on the fire goddess energy and to explore the energy of manifestation and inspiration, because fire is also about what inspires us to move forward. And I think something that I've learned this week from a client who shared something really wonderful. He mentioned that whenever he was bored with something, he tries to focus on seeing every person that he meets as a challenge and in a positive way. And every new action that he wants to take and to see that as a challenge. So this is about motivating yourself even when you feel that you're being stuck or that you're bored or that you feel things are a bit well, boring. I think that's the word. Look for the challenge. Look where you can challenge yourself and where you can motivate yourself. Okay, this is it for now, and I hope that you have enjoyed this week's journal, and we hope that we can see you next week. And have a good week. See you next time.